Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you. I'm just taking you all in, as I love to do when we begin these calls, just scrolling through the pages and seeing who all is here, and as usual, feeling so moved to see you and to be together. Welcome. It feels strangely like it's been several lifetimes since we were here for me. I don't really know why that is. It just, God, what a time, huh? What a time we're in. Oh, it's kind of a roller coaster time, at least for me. And we're in this new year now, finally, thank goodness. New time, much intensity. It's hard to stay in balance. I'll speak for myself. I have found it very hard at times to stay in balance, and sensing sometimes the bleak kind of feelings that have been surfacing every other day, it seems. Despair, sometimes grief, fear, anxiety, kind of lingering around the edges. And the question about whether we will be able to make the changes that we need to make, both inside and all around us. Will we be able to make those changes in time, given the seriousness of the kinds of things that we're living with on planet Earth these days? Will our prayers and our practice make a difference? And sometimes I feel like I don't know, I don't know. And then there's times when it's like this is the only thing that we can do that is going to really make a difference. So even if all of these feelings are hovering all around and the awareness of suffering is deeply felt, it also feels like there's a cause for hopefulness. In this amazing evolutionary journey that we're on, these times that we've been born into, to be alive right now as we go through these intense changes, claiming our true birthright to wake up, to heal, to love. So under the light of this full moon, as we do every month, under the light of the full moon, the power, harnessing the power of the moon's energy, I want to invite us in this new year to choose once again to feed the spirit of new life, new possibility, creative new possibility in the face of, all that is unraveling. But to affirm that we know there is power in our collective prayers, our intentions, that they do make a difference, that this is where that creative impulse comes from. And so even as we feel vulnerable and lonely, let's take refuge in our simple, common humanity, that which we share, and help each other to hold steady, to remember the divine beauty that is in Gaia, in this web of life, always here when we open our eyes and our hearts and our minds, to the web of life that we are each a part of. We're not separate from her. And so to claim that, yes, the collective is very sick. The dark forces feel really strong, but we were made for these times. We've been practicing just for this moment. And we need to meet this moment with everything we've got. So how do we do that? We do that by taking each other's hands, breathing together, conspiring, affirming our commitment to be here now for this work of global healing and collective awakening, calling on all of our beautiful, beautiful sources of inspiration and refuge, and dedicating our practice even more strongly than ever before for the benefit of all beings and for this beautiful blue-green planet that we call home. What a blessing we have been given to live here. Waking up to that great blessing together, and to the opportunity for healing together, to love even more deeply together. Now, on this full moon, it's the wolf moon, I understand. Let's howl like the wolf, these feelings, these intentions, these prayers. The wolves are pack animals, after all. So I have a very close member of my pack here tonight, Jillian Shelley, who is the steward of the Earth Treasure Vase for the United States of America, the one that we're starting to work with now. And she and I are going to lead the meditation together. And we felt like that was the vase that we wanted to open tonight, to receive all of your prayers and offerings and intentions, given all of the events that have been taking place here in this country this month. I know there's so many other things going on in other parts of the world as well. And from that bigger point of view, it's all connected. But we've been through a lot here. And I really want to pray for a new beginning, a new time, and to invite you to focus your intentions with us into this particular holy vessel that Jillian is holding. So Jillian, what have you got to say to us tonight, my dear? Welcome.
Welcome. Hi, everybody. I think because I'm seeing all your beautiful faces and because there's this candle here, I just want to introduce myself and say that I am the daughter of Mary Jane, daughter of Marcia, daughter of Gertrude, daughter of Mary. And I feel in this moment my grandmothers with their hands on my shoulders and just looking at you and imagining all the same happening as well, and that we're able to reach through this virtual field and that we're so held. So I'm feeling my hands as the ancestors' hands holding this little vase. And this vase is so excited to be with you tonight. I feel it vibrating and singing, and yeah, just I can feel it like deep in my own like belly button. Just that, yeah, that gratitude to get to be used and be fully alive and in service. So I really am here to welcome your prayers and your intentions and know that they're so needed and so the medicine of this moment. Yeah. So I want to just unwrap the vase, and they already gave me permission, but thank you, vase.
You know, I'm remembering last month, it was Maggie and Eva who sang the song of unwrapping the vase that they sang
Mm,
to the vase they stewarded. And maybe not this month, but maybe here sometime soon, Maggie and Eva, you'll sing that song as we unwrap the vase together. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Back to you, Cynthia.
Oh, well. Okay, so I think it's time to go into the meditation. And so if, for those of you who are new to this practice, we have been doing this meditation for 30 years. Amazingly, it's evolved some over time, coming originally from the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. I met a 106-year-old Lama in a cave in Nepal back in 1990, and had the chance to ask him a question. And my question was, what can we do to bring healing and protection to the earth? And this practice was the answer. And it's still going on. There's still a need, maybe even greater than ever. And we still have vases that are in the process of being stewarded, as this one is, by Jillian. And during the meditation, we'll invoke all of the locations where these treasure vases have been planted all over the world to create this global healing mandala that is very much alive and is really an energy field all unto itself that we can draw from, we can feed with our intentions, and take refuge in. Actually, you know that it is kind of become like a living being in the same way that these little clay pots, you would think, well, what's this little clay pot ever going to do? But once you start to work with one of them, you realize how it comes to life in your own hands. And once it gets filled with these prayers and offerings, it does take on so much energy. And so that is, briefly speaking, what this practice is about. And we'll do the guided meditation accompanied by the didgeridoo from our dear friend and my brother's Julian Silburn, who is here on a recording tonight, to enhance the practice, to take us where we need to go through the sound. And at the end of the practice, we'll open this circle for sharing from all of you. whatever comes to you in the course of the meditation, what's in your heart, in your mind and on your heart, or however that should be said, is welcome, as a prayer, as an offering. We're in a sense making alchemy here, and that alchemical mixture of all of our prayers and offerings is then what is planted in the earth, and we never know what will come exactly from all of this, but it ripples out in amazing ways. And the practice is, for those of us who are stewarding vases, is often to get out of the way and allow those prayers to work through us as holy vessels, because of course we are each a holy vessel. So let's go into the meditation, see where that leads, see where that path takes us tonight. And yeah, thank you again for being here. I pray as we go in that this practice will nourish you and bring that remembrance of what's important, the remembrance of us holding hands together in person, walking on this beautiful blue-green planet we call home, planting the seeds of love and caring and healing that are so needed now. So when we do the meditation, it's actually really nice, I think, if we can turn off our video, just to allow ourselves to be more inwardly focused and not distracted by all of the imagery and activities going on out there in Zoom land. So if you wouldn't mind just turning off your video, and then we'll come back to each other for the sharing. I'm going to start now with a bell and these opening verses that are really about finding our way into a relationship with Mother Gaia. And then we'll go into the meditation. So please find your seat and enjoy. Perfection of wisdom, mother of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and all beings, nourishing, holding, and healing all, great Mother Earth, precious jewel of the cosmos, to you we bow in gratitude. We take refuge in the earth as our teacher, the one who shows us the way in this life. We take refuge in the earth as an expression of the Dharma, the teachings of interbeing, understanding, and love. We take refuge in the earth as an embodiment of the Sangha, the vast interdependent community of life in balance and harmony. Living within the web of life on earth, we dedicate ourselves to embodying awakened awareness on the path of healing in service to all beings. We dedicate our lives to realizing our oneness with Gaia. Yes. So let's begin now by taking a few deep breaths in and out, allowing our breathing to slow down, become conscious, and deepen. feeling our bodies relax as we breathe in and out. Once again, breathing in and out, sensing a feeling of stability and calm coming into our experience as our body, speech, and mind come into oneness by simply breathing, returning over and over to the breath, this life force energy that moves through us day in and day out. And letting go, as with each breath, of any thoughts and feelings about the past or the future. And entering with each breath more and more fully into this present moment. The only moment. And giving thanks for this precious time to be together once again. And breathing in and breathing out again. Deep and slow. Let's welcome a conscious connection to the life force energies of Mother Earth flowing in and around us. And with a sense of being deeply grounded in the earth, let's open to also to the vast universal energies that we live within.
let's form the intention to do this practice for the benefit of all beings. And let's call upon all of our sources of inspiration, our teachers and guides, ancestors, elders, plants, lineage masters, Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and wisdom beings with whom we feel connected and enlivened, and invite them all to be present with us now. Invite their blessings to enter you and everyone who is present for this meditation, and receive the blessing of their love, support, guidance, healing, and clarity. As this blessing enters you, feel this love and caring coming all the way into your deepest heart of hearts. And breathe it in, and breathing out, send this love to everyone who is present in this circle. Breathing in, receive the love that is being sent. Breathing in and out, sending and receiving this love and caring around our circle. Gradually expanding your focus to include all of your friends, family, and community, and all of those whom this practice may serve. Imagine our circle gradually growing from our home, neighborhood, bioregion, country, and continent to include all beings in all places everywhere, embracing the whole planet with our love.
And now, with that feeling of love deeply rooted in your heart, let's turn our awareness to those who are suffering, to the places where there is war, poverty, disease, pollution, droughts or floods or fires, unrest, wherever the need for healing is very great. And breathe in this suffering, opening to it. And breathing out, send your love and caring to relieve the suffering of the earth, of her people, and of all life all around the whole planet.
Imagine that where there is hunger, we send food. Where there is thirst, water. Where there is houselessness, shelter. Where there is war and conflict, peace. Where there is sickness, well-being. And aware of where the earth is unstable, in danger, or out of balance in any way, imagine that area is brought great protection and healing, and that balance and harmony is restored.
And recall the beauty and the goodness of life, the riches to be found everywhere in nature, precious gifts of the earth that sustain life, and the very essence of the elemental energies of nature being strengthened and revitalized all around this beautiful blue-green planet that we call home.
Mm. And as we call into our awareness the presence of the earth treasure vases that have been planted or are in the process of being planted all around the world, imagine that together we are pouring our love and caring in the form of light into each and every little clay pot buried in the body of Mother Earth as our offering. Imagine each treasure vase radiating the light in every direction, sending healing and protective energies wherever it is needed, in whatever form it is needed. See the light like a rainbow streaming forth from each of the vases, white, yellow, red, blue, green, and all the colors in between. And breathing in and breathing out, allow the feeling of caring and compassion in your heart of hearts to grow. Send that feeling out in the form of light to all the people, animals, plants, and places that are connected to the earth treasure vases, needing healing and protection in the past, in the present, and in the future.
Beginning at the center of the Earth Treasure Vase Global Healing Mandala in a cave above the Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico, the birthplace of the atomic bomb. And to the north, at the source of the Rio Grande River in Creede, Colorado. To the south, at the mouth of the Rio Grande, the Gulf of Mexico. To the east, on top of Mount Baldy, above Santa Fe. And to the west, on Mount Chacoma, known as Sicamou, to the Tewa people of New Mexico, who are the custodians of these sacred lands where this mandala began. And that establishes the center and the four directions of this global healing mandala. And from here, we see the mandala growing in every direction. To the Indian Point Nuclear Reservation on the Hudson River in New York. To the headwaters, old growth redwood forest in Northern California. The Punta Cometa on the coast of Oaxaca in Mexico. Vilcabamba, Ecuador. Jakova, Kosovo. The Lawrence Laboratory at the University of California in Berkeley. The Taodum Forest on the border of Thailand and Burma. The village of Ein Karem in Israel, Palestine. Hiroshima, Japan. The cloisters in New York City after 9/11. The Biosphere 2 in Oracle, Arizona. The Martin Luther King Freedom Center in Oakland, California. The source of the Ganges in India. The source of the Amazon in Peru. The Southern Pacific Ocean, 93 feet down in Agum Atoll, the Trobriand Islands, Papua New Guinea. The Arctic Circle, Alaska. The Kogi Lands of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, Colombia. Telawayan Village, Lofa County, Voinjama District, Liberia, West Africa. The Blyde River Canyon, Limpopo Province, South Africa. The Giza Plateau in Egypt. Haleakala, Maui, Hawaii. The Itombwe Forest, South Kivu Province, Democratic Republic of Congo. Avebury, England. Bindaluk, Jawang Country, Catherine, Northern Territory, Australia.
And the second generation of earth treasure vases. In Gabarnmong, Arnhem Land, Australia. The Mackenzie King Park, Ottawa River Valley, Ottawa, Gatineau, Canada. The original garden in Findhorn, Scotland. The Great Stupa of Boudhanath in Kathmandu, Nepal. The Flint Hills of Kansas in the heartland of America. The Santa Cruz Mountains near Silicon Valley, California. The Vase caldera of northern New Mexico. Pernululu, Bungle Bungles, the Kimberleys, Australia. The village of Utegbik at the edge of the sea in northernmost Arctic Alaska. The Hanford Nuclear Reservation on shores of the Columbia River in the state of Washington. Mount Ryozan above Fukushima, Japan. And back to where it all began, in the cave hermitage of Turak, Nepal. To Margibi County, Liberia, in the base of an old ironbark tree on Dithiul Mountain in the Budawang Wilderness of Walbunja County, Yuin Nation, southeastern Australia, and to our root temple, Tolu Gompa in Nepal.
Let's also include the 14 earth treasure vases still awaiting their destination. And the earth treasure vase is being stewarded now to New Zealand, southwestern Australia, Korea, Arhuaco territory in Colombia, the Munzer Valley in Turkey, the Bering Strait in Alaska, Antarctica, Delphi in Greece, the Ashaninka lands of the Amazon forest in Brazil, Serpent Mound in Ohio, and the vase dedicated to healing all of our relations in the United States of America. And now, once again, having taken all of that in, let's take another deep, slow in-breath and deep, slow out-breath. And imagine that all that is needed to relieve the suffering of the earth can be seen as light, radiating out from each of these earth treasure vases all around the whole planet in every direction.
Imagine this healing light flowing out from the vases, filling the whole global earth treasure vase mandala with the powerful energies of our love and caring. See this healing force traveling through the song lines and meridians of the earth, flowing into each location on the global mandala. See the mandala like a web of light, embracing the whole planet. Feel the light flowing back and forth like waves from your heart to the earth treasure vases, energizing them and adding vitality and brilliance to the light that is flowing out to the whole area in the sphere of influence of each the earth treasure vases. Now imagine this light flowing into your own center, your own location, your special spot in nature, and feel the collective spiritual intelligence of the entire global earth treasure vase mandala activating your node on the mandala and entering you as a holy vessel.
And now let's focus our concentration one-pointedly on bringing healing and protection to the whole earth for all time. See the healing and protection radiating out from all the vases and from your own heart as a holy vessel. Going around the earth in waves of light, flowing back and forth endlessly. And imagine that the healing is accomplished and the vitality of the earth is completely restored. Imagine that the healing is accomplished and the vitality of the earth is completely restored.
Now recognizing the interconnected web that is life on earth, of which we are a part. Let's give thanks for this precious, sacred time and pray that the compassion and peace that is our true condition may bring supreme happiness and benefit to the earth and all beings.
May it be so. And with another deep, slow in breath and deep, slow out breath, let's bring our awareness back into our bodies, feeling our feet on the floor, grounded on the earth, in our own locations. Wiggling our toes and opening our eyes and returning to the circle for sharing. So Jillian has the vase there open, and I actually have an offering I want to put in the vase tonight, and then we'll open the circle for all of you, and there should be a raise hand button at the bottom of the participants panel. If you want to click on the participants sort of a little area there and open up that panel, and then you can do that. Or if you unmute yourself, we'll see you, but don't do that until we're ready. So I'm gonna just start here with this. This comes from one of our Sangha members in Canada by the name of Wendy Dudley, who I don't think is here tonight. But Wendy lives in a remote part of Alberta, Canada, and sent this to me for this particular treasure vase. And it felt like this was the time to put it in, virtually at least. And her note says, here as promised is the wolf hair. For the earthen treasure vase, I believe it was to be placed in the wise US vase. She is the teacher, the wolf, the pathfinder, a loyal family member, being of pack, the collective, but also strong individuality. All in all, an ideal one to help guide and teach as the vessel makes its way to its final resting place of power. May she be a fine example for us all as humanity finds its way through heart-guided knowings. May such a moon voice sing through us. On this wolf moon, it seemed only appropriate to bring this wolf fur out, which I have not held until this minute. This is the wolf fur that Wendy found on her land and sent. So I'm going to imagine this wolf fur going right into that holy vessel, bringing all the energies that it symbolizes and embodies. Alalaho. Jillian, did you have an offering that you wanted to make as well before we open the circle?
Thank you, Cynthia, and thank you for the wolf hair, wolf fur, probably. Thanks for the wolf fur, Wendy. Yeah. Yeah, there were a few different offerings that I wanted to make. I was talking with Cynthia, I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, about how I was really feeling the desire to put a Bernie Sanders meme into the vase. And I asked Cynthia if I could do that. So is that allowed? She's like, "Of course." So I scoured the internet and I couldn't find one that just felt right, but I just want you all in this moment to just picture the favorite Bernie Sanders meme that you've seen. You can choose a favorite. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, you might be confused. You can definitely go ahead and just Google Bernie Sanders mittens meme. And the stand-in, the physical stand-in, and energetic, because I won't put it directly in the vase, but is my friend Lena, the lion. And it's funny that you just put wolf fur in, because I really felt this furry creature wanting to come out and play. And I've just felt so moved and surprised tonight and the last few days by just how much play I feel in my system, and liberation and permission and protection to feel pleasure, and to really let that just rise up out of my system, not forcing or reaching or grasping for pleasure, or to hoard it or keep it or even hold on to it, but just allowing what's there, the aliveness, to happen through me. It is so cool. And I just am so grateful on this full moon that we get to celebrate the huge shift that has happened in this country, you guys. Oh my God, Alina is so excited, and I'm so excited, and I'm just so moved to tears at the release that I feel, that I haven't known that I've been holding until it's gone. And I just keep going back to these two words of just permission and protection, the safety of those two, just the permission to explore creativity, to love who I love, to be alive, and the protection to do that with the big changes that have happened, from the top down this past cycle, this past moon cycle. And I know that that's not the full story, and there will be moments of pain and loss and grief and rage that are there too, but in this moment I'm really just letting the energizingness of pleasure to be my guide, and I want to offer that to this vase on its journey ahead, that it really is a beacon of aliveness and pleasure and embodiment, and that is the motivating force of its journey, not fear. Yeah. And may we all, in our own vessels, let our core motivation be more aliveness, more expansion. Thank you. Thank you to Bernie Sanders and Lena. And thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Jillian. May it be so.
Alalaho.
Alalaho. Yeah. All right, Liza Jane, can unmute yourself there.
Okay. Thank you both for your offerings. I really felt strongly that Amanda Gorman's poem should go in, The Hill We Climb. And I'm not going to read all of it, but I would like to read at least a little portion of it. We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, only if we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Alalaho.
Beautiful. Beautiful offering. Thank you so much, Liza Jane. Ah, yes. Lauren, would you like to make an offering?
Yes, I would. I lit candles in my room and I saw this spirit doll sitting on my altar. And it's a mother holding a child, and she's traveled quite a ways. But I thought of Gaia holding America, you know, that the earth sees no boundaries, and that we need to treat our country like a mother treats her baby, you know, with as much love and compassion that we can muster. And, you know, when you were talking earlier about the roller coaster of the month, and, you know, it has been really difficult in practicing compassion for people who I think are trying to do harm is one of the most challenging practices of any, you know, but I do feel this every time we do this full moon ritual, you know, that these prayers are growing in power and strength, and that, you know, it's a good thing to fill the vessel with our light, you know, to be the light. And, you know, even if it doesn't work, we did the right thing. We're doing the right thing. This is the best thing that we can do, is to continue to generate, you know, motherly love and compassion for our planet and for our country, and no matter how challenging that is, because, you know, sometimes kids are challenging. So thank you very much for all the prayers. And that's my offering.
Thank you so much, Lauren. I'm glad to hear you say those things for us all, you know. Yeah. Together we're strong. Yeah. La la ho. All right. Heidi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the didgeridoo. It was beautiful. I want to just offer, I heard two people talk about candles, and I want to offer the light of this candle to be in that vase. And I know this is a vase that's going to travel, to move around, and that when it's moving from one place to another, that it actually lights the internal guidance for those that it comes in contact with, and to all of the beings around it. And when Jillian talked about the lion, I found it very interesting, because when I meditated this morning, a lion came into my meditation, but it had to do with the full moon, and it had to do with the reflection of the sun, which the lion tends to be symbolic of. And as I went deeper into my understanding, my esoteric and mystical understanding about lions, is that lions used to, humans, not in the form that we know it, but lions used to be in service actually to the human component of life. And in that, when humans, well, I don't need to go into where they've been, but when they changed and went into a different direction, the lions no longer were in service to the human beings. And so when I was sitting in my meditation and just reflecting on it, I was just aware of all of our activities, whether they're thoughts or steps or prayers or any of it, if they're done from that place of continually in remembrance to our deepest purpose in life, which I can't put into words, because there are no words for that deepest purpose. It's a little different for each of us. But when we always look for that in every situation, it has the potential to bring that about. It brings that potential into the field of life. And so these prayers that, I hope they work, I actually have of course they're going to have some impact. What they look like, I have no idea. And it's not my concern. My concern is more for how am I acting, and how am I seeing everyone that I come in contact with? Can I see that light in them? Can I be that vase of liberty, that freedom to see the light trying to come forth? It has to have breath. It can't come forth without breath. So I just felt moved from that lion. The light was present before that, but the lion, and I have a different experience, Jillian, than you do, obviously, but that energy of spirit that you're talking about, that is moving through you, and it feels really good. It's like, yeah, can it follow the course that these vases are setting forth for us? Can that energy continue to move all of the time with each breath? My guess is that's its purpose. And so that's my prayer. And I do know esoterically that the words for this country is, I light the way. So may this candle light the way, and may this vase light the way. Thanks.
May it be so. May it be so. Thank you, Heidi. Always great to hear from you. I'm just going to intersperse here, Jillian. I'm seeing a few people in the chat who say they don't have audio. So maybe you could check into that for a sec. And you might want to, those of you who are saying that, leave the room and then rejoin the meeting. We'll let you back in. That might be one way of handling it. And I got a message from Lola that she would like to speak. She needs to leave and she'd like to come forward. So I'd like to welcome you, Lola, into the circle.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, everybody. It's really lovely to be here with you all and to be doing this blessing. And really what I just want to bring into the vase is a prayer, a fervent prayer for the end of all othering. Othering from our planet, othering from the elements, from nature, from the spirits, the unseen spirits, from the animals, all the species, and any othering that we do to other human beings in our, our mistaken way of judging.
Yeah.
So, just let us be, blossoms of loving, and that this face brings loving where it goes. So thank you.
Blossoms of loving. Yes, may it be so. Thank you, Lola. Thank you. The vase that Jillian is holding is taking all of this in. All right, Juan Handelin. You can unmute yourself, Juan. Bottom left corner of your screen, there's a little mic button. You can click on that and that'll unmute you. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my iPad's kind of old, but hey, so I don't know anything about astrology, but I did hear, Jillian and Heidi, that this wolf moon is in the Leo sign. So it seems to all drop into place. Cynthia, you were saying earlier, how do we know, or how can we know what, how successful are we, or how much effect does it have? And we don't, we just, it's beyond measure. All we know is, we know it works. We know it's making a difference. And the lion is that symbol of courage and confidence, right? Yeah, this is the way it is, and we can go forward with that. We can go forward with that confidence and do what we need to do what we think we ought to do. And I love the thing about the earth treasure vase, like you were saying in the meditation there, was, each of us is this little holy vessel, and we can take that on, as our ultimate connection to this web, this network, this mandala. And what's so cool is it's so easy to tap into it at any time. We do this once a month, and it's really powerful when we're all coordinated. But it really is, anytime you got a minute to take a breath, you can really tap in, just like a hummingbird tapping into a flower. It's always available, and it's always a joy to take a nip. Anyway, I wanted to offer along those lines, I guess, I wanted to offer a poem as a prayer, as an offering. And this comes from the good friend Rumi. And by the way, this poem has been put to a song, beautifully done by Mirabai Starr. And I don't know, maybe Rumi sang it, but don't know what the melody was. Here it is. It says, keep walking, though there's no place to get to. Don't try to see through the distances. That's not for human beings. Move within, but don't move the way fear makes you move. Today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. Don't open the door to the study and begin reading. Take down a musical instrument. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. And yeah, this little earth treasure vase is one way, and we all should know that there are many, many, many people kneeling and kissing the ground in their own way. This is a big movement. So thank you, sisters and brothers. Aho. May it be so.
Aho. Thank you, Juan. It's great to hear you. Nice to hear that poem, and thank you for your offering. I'm going to encourage us to, in order to allow for more people to share in the time that we have, to formulate your offering into a concise prayer offering, if you can. Thank you. All right, I'd like to call on Louise. Louise, you can unmute yourself.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, or morning, or whatever time you are in. Cynthia, deep bow to you in your birthday year. And thank you for your stewardship of this for so many years. It's been an anchor for me for a while. And I was really moved to speak today. I'm in Washington, D.C., and so much has taken place here in the last few weeks. We hold a lot of the energies that have been named in the physical site. So tonight I'd like to offer the waters of this area, the Anacostia, the Potomac, Rock Creek, Patapsco rivers, Patuxent rivers. This is the land of the Piscataway peoples, people where the rivers meet. And there is a cleansing of waters happening here, and a moving through, and a moving of energy, an opening, a lightening. And I have felt a palpable difference in energy in the last week, although so much remains of challenge. And so thank you, Jillian, for your, I want to say, hummingbird energy, this beauty, this joy, the pleasure that you hold. It's very powerful that you are the steward. And in this region, we just offer hospitality and welcome to the Vase in travels, and for some ceremony that has been held here for many years, and to receive you if this is part of your discernment and your journey. So thank you.
Thank you, Louise.
Thank you, Louise. we'll be in touch. Thank you for your invitation. And thank you for calling in the beauty of those lands. Yeah. Let's go to Marilyn.
Oh, goodness. I always leave my video off because I'm always using my phone. I just wish to say, well, first of all, good evening and blessings to all on the call. I think Jillian's comments, the reference to Amanda Gorman's poem, you know, the Greta Thunbergs of the world, we see the evolution of love in the youth that are coming into being. That's my view. Gaia and the cosmos are actually birthing these youth that are already at a higher vibrational level than we were born at. So I wish to put the hopefulness, the love, and the commitment of the global youth into the vase so that their love and their determination will save the earth, humanity, and all of life as we know it on this 3D plane of existence. And so that's the offering I have for the vase, is let's put all this energy and love of the youth that are coming up into that vase. That's what will save life. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Marilyn. May it be so. We're calling him in. Jillian's helping. Yeah.
Thanks for your vote, Marilyn. Let's go next to Gail.
Hi everybody. So great to be with you all this evening. My gift, it is a gift. I received a gift from Gaia, actually 10 hours before we started the call. I'm in Denmark, originally from, I was born in Santa Monica, California. I've been here for 50 years. This evening, I was going for a walk in my town, or no, out of the town towards the river, and it was about 5 in the evening, and so the sky was still light. And I mean, the sun had gone down maybe a half hour before or something, but I looked up at some point and I had a glimpse of a star, a shooting star. And I thought, oh my God, because the sky was so light, I thought that was huge. And I just felt so blessed. So at that moment, it was like the impact made me turn around. And in the moment that I turned around, I see the most glorious moon rising. And it was really rising because it was the sight of it was filtered through some trees, bare trees. And there's, I mean, just so beautiful. And so my gift for the vase is awe and beauty. That impact, the impact of beauty that in moments like that we get as gifts from Gaia are just so impactful. And the fact that it can move one's heart so much, it's just, beyond words. So I didn't know what my prayer would be, but it is that gift of beauty and awe, rising above as love can do. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for stewarding, Jillian. Thank you. Aloha.
Thank you, Gail. Dropping that shooting star, rising moon with you.
I was just talking about beauty. I actually was speaking with David Nickel, who many of you know and who has been such a big part of this earlier today. And he, I think, was on the call, at least for the whole first part today. But David and I were talking about just remembering the beauty that is all around us, you know, even when it gets difficult. And you just named it so beautifully. Thank you, Gail.
Let's go next. We have Laura.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here this evening. Yesterday was Remembering Downwinders Day, Nuclear Downwinders. It was the 7th annual Remembering Downwinders Day. And, you know, this past year, my work has involved being witness to a lot of downwinder stories, which are really heartrending. And there are many of them all over the world. And I guess the powerful thing about bearing witness to these stories is that when they are told, you know, power is released, energy is released. These people, these places come into being because they are seen and they are heard, and it's just so important. And I feel that I want to offer that to this vase that's moving around the US, where there is so much damage done from nuclear power plants, places like Hanford. These stories are healing, and we need to be aware of them. We can't, we shouldn't hide them. We shouldn't be afraid of them. And it's overwhelming at times, but I feel we have the capacity. And I feel this vase has the capacity to embrace these stories. So that's my offering tonight for this wise vase. Thank you, Jillian and Cynthia.
You're welcome. Thank you, Laura, for everything you do and what you bring.
Thank you, Laura. And next we have SD.
Thank you. I would like to add to the vase tonight a portion from Abraham Lincoln's second inaugural address. Most Americans on the call will be familiar with these words, but for those of you who live in other parts of the world, just some brief context, Abraham Lincoln was president during the American Civil War. And these words just seem timely right now, given all that's happening in our country. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic cords of memory, stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone, all over this broad land, will yet swell the chorus of the Union when again touched, as surely they will be by the better angels of our nature. Thank you.
Thank you so much. May it be so.
Going to Michael. Hey, Michael, we're having just some trouble hearing you. It sounds like your headphones aren't all the way plugged in or something.
Is that better now?
Not really. Can you take your headphones out completely?
How's that now?
Still pretty quiet.
Let me try just playing some music and not speaking.
Better.
Thank you, Michael. Alalaho.
La la how. Ow. Ow. Yeah, let's hear from Leslie.
My offering and blessing for this vase is the wildness and the fierceness of the wolf and of the horses, the wild horses. I was just thinking of the wild horses that were there near the other earth treasure vase that Cynthia and David and I and a whole community buried in the prairie lands of Kansas. There's a picture of the card that Cynthia sent. I don't know if people can see it afterwards, but here's the vase on a US flag with flowers and a little teapot. So this symbolizes both wildness and the companionship of the family, the kin of the other earth treasure vases buried in this country for healing and transformation of the relationship between us all. Fierce compassion. May it be so.
Good one. Thanks, Leslie. Yeah.
Thank you, Leslie. And next to Jose.
Good night. Here it's 4:35 a.m. But I'm really awake now and energized by, thank you, Cynthia. This is my first time joining from Spain, back from the USA, from Santa Fe, and I'm thrilled. I'm so happy to be joining the Sangha. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Walter. Hello, Juan, and all of you. And what can I say? I feel very energized. I feel I went into what happened in the meditation at the end was like it began to pour out of me this syllable, hri 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 hri, and I have this tanka here from Amitabha that Cynthia gifted me in a very special ceremony, saying goodbye to Yona. And it's been really happening something here. And I've been feeling and seeing red everywhere, and reminded of David Ebran saying, how can we heal the earth? It's about falling in love with the earth and inviting others to fall in love with the earth. And I was this constellation of meaning of, going there to Santa Fe, a land of enchantment, and knowing how Cynthia was initiated into the practice of kurukule, which is enchantment, fascination, and this magic that liberates. It's not a binding magic. And I went into this quote by the Scottish magus R.J. Stewart this morning, and it really woke me up, and in a way that Gillian said, in this child mind, wild mind, Dionysian mind, as the late Claudio Naranjo said about the Tantric Buddhism as being a Dionysian Buddhism. And I want to quickly read this quote from R.J. Stewart. We could say that although we use the words physical and metaphysical in discussion, both aspects of being are at one through the body and are not divided. Only the isolated and disconnected mind makes such divisions, such dualisms, for the body knows them not. This simple truth is extremely helpful for us, for if we can grasp it and work with it, it enables us to sidestep much of the accumulated junk of magic and metaphysics, and so begin to remember our true nature as participants in the planet, as beings who embody the tree of life. That is how miracles of transformation begin, though they are in truth our normal state of being. Remember that the way we live is only habitual and not necessarily our normal or our true potential state. So, thank you.
Great you could be here, Jose Luis.
I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome back.
With you.
Welcome
Thank you.
back. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we have two more hands. We have Patricia.
Okay, well, it's hard to, thank you, Jose Luis. It's hard to follow you because that's what I'm saying, but I'm saying in a very practical kind of way. I've actually been writing about hope and humor for humanity for the past 20 years. And I've been focusing mostly on left brain versus right brain, male versus female, ego versus soul. And again, it's like he was saying, we have to realize that the duality, we have to encompass all of it. But what I want to give to the vase is a new awareness, compassion, and hope. Because even though I thought I was kind of aware, it was only because of what happened in the last few months in the US that suddenly I became awake to what was really going on around the world. Things that I had not known about it. And because of what happened, I am now seeing around the world a whole movement of increased consciousness. And people are praying and turning inwards like never before. People are banding together, they're communicating, they're connecting. So that's why I want to say sometimes I also did feel despair, especially sometimes because I went down many, many rabbit holes. And some people were starting to accuse me of being brainwashed, etc. And so that's when I realized I too have to have the compassion for their lack of not seeing, not being awake. And maybe that's a part of myself. So that's basically what I just want to say, that we must have hope, because from my perspective, not feeling the energy, but just seeing what's going on the internet, seeing everything that's coming out, that freedom will prevail and the increased consciousness is happening. So that's all I'd like to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. I hear you. Your prayers are received.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
I see, just for the record, Jenny is there with her hand raised without actually raising the hand button. So let's be sure to include Jenny, Jillian.
Okay, let's go to you, Jenny. If you're ready. Do you want us to come back to you?
No, I think she's speaking, but we can't hear you, Jenny. Need to unmute yourself. Bottom left corner of your screen.
I'm asking you to unmute, so you just need to click the unmute that's popping up.
There it is. Does that work now?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I would like to sing into the vase. I feel very drawn to sing this song that I've known for a long time. This love between us goes back to the first union. There is no beginning. There is no end. Deeply, look deeply at this great love. It cannot be annihilated. Like the river gives itself to the sea, what's inside of you moves inside of me. I feel so much love. It is so inspiring. It is without doubt the most powerful force in the universe, and I feel it is awakening more and more in every moment. So thank you, everybody. Namaste.
Thank you, Jenny. Beautiful. Let's go next
Thank
to
you.
Harry. Thank you.
Beautiful song. Your voice is so beautiful. It's so wonderful for me to be here with all of you and to see so many of my friends here and people who I really love. I'm just really happy to be with you. And I want to share with you how I'm increasingly finding myself falling in love with the earth, with Mother Earth, with the beauty of nature. Today I walked down to the Potomac River. I'm just inside the Beltway in Washington. And I've really developed a relationship with the Potomac River. I feel as if the Potomac is a friend, a personal friend. And every day that I can, I walk with my dog down to the Potomac and we walk around these little trails. And this evening, the sun was just setting across on the other side, the Virginia side, and the light of the sunlight was dancing across the waters of the Potomac, the grand old Potomac. And I felt as if I'd really come home, and this is my friend. And the waters are washing the old through and away from Washington. You know, we've had an emergence of the really dark, ugly, nasty side of the, you know, the Proud Boys and all the extremists. And they kind of had their day, and they've come out and they've been released, and their ugliness is really seen. They wanted to kill members of Congress and hang, and shoot. And that hatred, it's like having a bubble burst, you know, or a pimple burst, or an infection that's been there for a long time that's come out into the ocean. And it's just being washed away by the waters. And that's why we're all talking about the waters kind of washing away the old, and we're witnessing the death of the old order, and we're hospicing the birth of the new. And something new is coming in. There's a freshness. And the other day, as I was walking down this little back trail, in front of me, maybe just 50 feet or something, that was a deer, but a stag with real horns. I mean, it was a real, a big set of horns. And he was just standing there. And usually when a deer sees you, it runs away, you know, and you're glad to have caught a glimpse of it. This stag was standing its ground, and it was looking at me. And I had the feeling that it could charge me, and it could put its horns down, or it could really attack me. And it's the first time I've ever
backed away from a deer. And it was with respect, you know. That stag was holding its ground. It didn't move backward or forward. It just stood there. And I was honored to be in its presence. Nonetheless, I still backed away. I kept looking at him, but I just backed off and I felt I have encountered a truly powerful being. That deer was a powerful animal. And I had genuine respect, and I felt almost like I'm honored to have been in your presence. And as I backed off, he backed off and walked around the other side and continued the way. But I was honored to have been in his presence. So I want to bring the spirit of the deer, and I want to bring the beauty of the sunlight dancing across the waters of the Potomac. And I want to bring this deep, deep love, as somehow I feel surrounded by beauty. You know, when I look, I see the way a vine was grown up around a tree, or the way the squirrel is jumping from tree to tree. I'm just seeing and appreciating the beauty of nature more than I ever have before, and I feel like I'm falling in love. And it's a wonderful time to be alive and to see the transformation that's happening in our nation's capital. You know, when so many of us are bringing light energy into transforming the governments, where the old is coming up and making itself seen and known and held accountable and dismissed, with something truly good coming in. This Biden administration is really doing the right things, is bringing very good people into the cabinet, people I know and admire, respect. And I think we've got good days ahead. And they're going to have to, there's a lot of work ahead for all of us. So we need the spiritual power of this group to pray for the people stepping in to take responsibility and move our nation forward. But we're in good hands because they're really good people in the Biden administration. So Washington, thanks you for your prayers, you know, coming in to see us through this time of transformation and change. And it's wonderful to be with you. And Cynthia, thank you for bringing us all together and celebrating your birthday with you and holding us in the spirit of love. Thank you.
Thank you, Harriet. Many blessings to you in Washington. Yeah.
Thank you, Harriet. And I believe that we might have a unicorn in our midst. Yeah.
Hi, I usually go by Phoenix, but I can't change it on my thing. Thank you so much for doing this. This is my second ceremony today to celebrate this full moon, and I just feel so connected to Mother Earth, and it feels so wonderful. Something that came about the last, like the last 8 or 9 hours was just this overwhelming joy and being just so connected. I was thrilled to, I don't usually do this, but I found my singing bowl because it had been put in a windowsill and I hadn't seen it for a while. So I'm gonna try to do this, but I also want to sing a really quick song. The river, she is flowing, flowing and growing. The river, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. I'm just really digging all the vibrations, and thank you for letting me show up in my unicorn wig. I like them. They make me feel young and spirited and remembering about the wonder. So I would like to put all of that good energy into the singing, into the bowl. And thank you so much for doing this. Aho matakuias, closista.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Great to have you.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
And we have our last hand. It's to you, Patricia.
Thank you. Just a very short quote that I think sums up a lot of what was said today in the process for it to go into the vase as it travels. It's a quote from Arnie Garborg. To love a person is to learn the song that is in their heart and to sing it to them when they have forgotten. So may it sing wherever it goes to help awaken everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you, Patricia. Well, it feels like we've come to the end of our time together. Jillian, do you have anything you'd like to say in closing?
Yeah, thank you so much for all your prayers, and I feel the vase dancing with your gifts from the heart. And I also just cut a little bit of Lena's hair, which kind of looks like the wolf hair. And so I want to put some of that into the vase physically.
Good.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, so Jillian and I are cooking up kind of the next steps around this particular treasure vase. We haven't really formulated it terribly much, but it's coming, and I think we'll be in touch. And if any of you are interested in being a part of the group that is going to be more focused on this particular vase, at some point we'll invite you to identify yourselves and
Yeah,
let us
can I
know.
speak to that, Cynthia?
Sure.
Yeah, I would love to form a little council. And so I'm inviting those of you who are interested in lending your wisdom and your play and guidance and commitment to this Vase's journey to email me. And that just means that we'll have a conversation about what might emerge. And because of some particular sensitivities with this vase being in the context of the US, it's not a guarantee that everybody who's interested will be a part of the council, not to make it sound like there's big tryouts or anything, but we hope that you're able to join. And yeah, so I'd love to hear from any and all of you that feel compelled to participate. And I will put my email in the chat.
And we'll maybe put that into a newsletter or in the mandala, which is our online discussion group. We can put that in too. So for now, just really want to wish everyone deep peace, and to take refuge, as I said in the beginning, in the energy of this global mandala and all of the prayers that take so many different forms through each of us. But to come back just for another moment here at the end to kind of like imagine gathering up all of the beauty, the goodness, the intentions that were shared, the prayers, the poems, the struggles that have been offered into the circle, into the vase. And pour it out once again, for it to really ripple out, go where it's needed, and to strengthen the sense in each of us that there is an effect, a positive effect, to what we do here. That is the impulse towards healing and transformation and awakening in relationship to Gaia, to all life. And as we, turn our listening to the birds and the deer and the wolves and the sounds of the bell and even in the midst of the shouting, that we learn to listen to those other sounds and strengthen them for the wisdom that's there to calm the shouts so that we can hear each other once again and hear the truth, hear what really was. As Thich Nhat Hanh would say, you listen in such a way that you can hear what's being said and also what's unsaid, what's left unsaid. So may we walk in beauty going forward. May we remember to stay connected to the spirit that we've cultivated here. And plant seeds of peace at wherever we go. Thank you for your willingness to stay to the bitter end. And so we just dedicate the merit. That's what we do. We dedicate all of this goodness for the benefit of all. We don't hold on to it. We give it out once again. Yeah. So I'd love to invite you to unmute yourselves and just say a final goodbye. And thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Blessings. Thank you. Oh, much love.
The river she is flowing, flowing and going. The river she is flowing down to the sea.
Mother, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea.
Thank you.
Gracias. Beautiful.
Bye. Continued. See you next month.
Night.
Till the next one.
Sleep well.
Thank you.